There's been some stories come out over the past few weeks to a month about PledgeMusic, and we want to talk about it and kind of clear up for you what is actually going on. So Billboard, I think, were the first people to report this, but basically what's happening is PledgeMusic are having to delay payments to artists using PledgeMusic because they don't have the money. A bit of a catch-up for anyone who doesn't know what PledgeMusic is. It's a crowdfunding site like GoFundMe and Kickstarter, except it's specifically for musicians. So you could fund your album with it, you could fund a tour with it, and normal everyday people can submit like $10, $1, $100 to your campaign to eventually get some form of reward for it. But it's kind of a, we're thinking about doing this, would you like to fund it? Yes, okay, here's the money, okay, do the thing, then you get your reward. Similar setup to Kickstarter, GoFundMe, it works exactly the same. See, the thing is, when fans are giving money to a project, that money has to be stored somewhere. So it's obviously stored in a bank account, like PledgeMusic's bank account. And then when the time comes to give the money to the artist, they give the money to the artist. The issue is that in that time, the bank balance of PledgeMusic looks pretty good and pretty healthy. There's a chance that some executive somewhere or someone quite high up in the company has seen $2 million, for example, in the bank account and gone, well, this deal that we're on about doing with this other company, we could spend 1.2 million on that, and then we've still got like $800,000, and then they do the deal and then everything's cool, and then all of a sudden they owe $1.5 million, for example, to artists, and they just don't have it anymore because really that $2 million wasn't entirely theirs. That's kind of where the problem lies here, is that Pledge have spent money that wasn't theirs because it was in their bank account. From the artist perspective here, this fucking sucks. You just set up like a campaign for, say, an album. You've had people buy merch, you've had people buy CDs, you've had people buy vinyl, you've had people buy tapes. You've had so much money from fans sent into your project, and now you don't have the money to make any of those things, and the fans haven't got any of their money back. So now PledgeMusic have just spent all of this money that fans have paid for products for, and the people making the products don't have the money to make it anymore. So it's just in this like kind of stalemate of they haven't got any money, they haven't got any money, they haven't got any products, they haven't got any products. And Pledge have just spent the money. On what? We don't know. It's never been talked about. The exact amount of money that Pledge allegedly has spent hasn't been announced, or no one's talking about it. So we don't really know exactly what extent this is at. There's a few statements that Pledge have made. Here's some of them. In response to last month's Billboard report about not paying musicians, PledgeMusic issued this statement. We accept responsibility for the fact that we have been late on payments over the past year. PledgeMusic is working tirelessly on this issue, and we are asking our community for their continued support and patience. Then they said that the expectation is that artists currently not being paid will hopefully be paid within 90 days, but all of these statements seem to be like, oh, we hope that this is going to be true, and not actually, you will be paid within 90 days. One of the co-founders, who is called Benji Rogers, has actually rejoined the company. He stopped working for Pledge in 2016 and has now actually rejoined the team to try and sort this mess out. Whether this means that there's some form of issue inside the company that's actually a long-standing thing and they've only just been caught, or whether or not he just feels like it's the right thing to do because it's a company that he helped create and now there's issues he wants to jump back in. We don't know. But whatever issue this is, they are obviously taking it quite seriously, which probably means it's not just, oops, we spent that money. There may be something deeper there. We don't know. Pledge have also said, we are in discussions with several interested parties about the potential partnership with or acquisition of PledgeMusic. These conversations, if successful, would lead to a transaction that would allow us to meet all of our outstanding obligations. So it looks kind of like that PledgeMusic don't have any plans to get this money back and are looking to maybe be bought out for the amount of money that is owed to artists.
How the fuck would that work? Because as soon as these new investors buy into Pledge for the amount that is owed, that money's just going to be spent because it's owed. And then they're all left with nothing.
Yeah, well, I guess they would own PledgeMusic. So they're going to have to say, oh, we owe $1 million to artists, for example. You can buy PledgeMusic for $1 million and the return there is PledgeMusic. There would be no extra money there to actually spend because all of it would go back to the owed money. Yeah, this is really shit. Them saying that, I don't think they kind of meant it in this way, but them saying that kind of points to the fact that they don't have a plan for getting this money in. Them saying, oh, we're in talks with companies to try and get a partnership going, or them acquiring PledgeMusic, kind of sounds like they are in talks with people to do that. But what if that doesn't happen? If that doesn't happen, they aren't getting that money, which means they just can't pay the artists, which means what? They go bankrupt? Maybe. Because if enough artists get together and sue PledgeMusic, because rightfully they can, Pledge don't have the money to pay that out. So they would just go bankrupt. Whether that will happen or not, we don't know. They have paid a few artists. The artist Fastball was owed $21,000 and they received $10,000, but there's been no sign of the other $11,000. So it looks like there was a bit of money there, but not all of it. So they've given some artists some. Honestly, there's no definitive kind of thing from Pledge about this is what's currently happened. This is what we've already done to try and sort it. This is what we're going to do. There's a lot of interviews with single people kind of saying, oh yeah, we're trying to do this, or oh yeah, we're trying to do this. But there's not a lot of definitive this is what's happening, which probably means that there isn't a lot of cohesion with what is actually happening. If by any chance someone watching this video is an artist that is in that position, please get in touch and talk to us, and I'd like to know kind of the situation that you're in and what it's like from your side. For everyone watching, I guess this is a little bit interesting to actually see if you aren't directly involved with it, because something like this has never happened before, and maybe it will actually strike a change in kind of how these music-based platforms, or even the non-music-based ones, kind of operate from now on, because Pledge have actually said that moving forward they're actually going to have an independent third-party company manage the funds that are artists' funds. Whether that is we don't trust whoever it was that made this issue to not make this issue again, or whether it's just kind of a PR stunt basically to try and say we won't do this again because we're not going to do it anymore. I don't know. Is it a good thing? Yeah, probably. Will it happen again? Yeah, probably. I don't want to be on PledgeMusic's side, because I'm not on PledgeMusic's side. It was wrong what they did, but I kind of get why this could have happened. Because, as I said earlier on in the video, if you're seeing a bank balance of X amount of pounds, or dollars, a lot of people see that as theirs. This is why a lot of people kind of don't get the difference between like turnover and profit and income and whatever, because the amount of money that you have sat in the bank isn't necessarily all yours, because of the money that is owed to people, the debts that you have, payments that are going to be happening in future. All of that should kind of be assigned to that money already. If you don't have a system in place to already do that, it just looks like you've got a fucking ton of money that you can do whatever you want with. Obviously, someone in Pledge has taken it upon themselves, maybe it's a group, maybe it's the entire company, has taken it upon themselves to spend some of that money, and then it comes around to, oh, by the way, you owe artists this much. Oh, we don't have that much in the bank. Whoops. I get how that can happen. It's not excusable, it's wrong, and they've breached contract with many, many, many artists for doing this, and it's shit, and they should maybe give some compensation that's more than the thing. That's not going to happen. They're not going to have the money to do that, but that would be the right thing to do. Yeah, this is shit all around. It's bad for funding platforms in general, because there's a chance that they're going to be a lot less trusted because of this happening. It's shit for artists because it's kind of one less safe opportunity to raise money, because what if this happens again? It's shit for fans because they've paid a hell of a lot of money to get stuff and currently aren't going to receive anything for their money, nor can they get a refund because, again, that money currently doesn't exist. So it's all a bit shit. All the sources for every bit of information that I've received will be linked in the description if you want to look deeper into it. There's not a lot of different information, a lot of different articles all just cite the same articles and all just refer back to the one same place. Billboard and PledgeMusic's own website are the two places where most of the information is sat. If you want to look more into this, yeah, if you've got any connection to kind of what's going on here, please get in touch, because I'd be interested in finding more out. Cool. What do you think about this? Tell us kind of what your thoughts are about this, because it's kind of interesting. I know it's shit, but it's also kind of interesting. Yeah, cool. Thank you for watching this video. The song that we wrote the other week was supposed to come out today, but we're going to delay it to next week to make sure that we get it right. Promise it will actually come out next week. I know we've been delaying a little bit. Promise it'll come out next week. Thank you very much for watching this video, and we will see you next week.